it when you start.
Okay. On September 21st, 2022, Netflix released Dahmer, Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer story, and it quickly reached the top of streamers' charts. With over 300 million hours viewed, Dahmer quickly became Netflix's second most watched series ever. Although Netflix claims that the purpose of this series was to expose one of the most notorious serial killers in the US and his unfathomable crimes, it instead sparked a lot of controversy throughout the nation. I think we can all agree that a good Netflix murder TV show is fascinating because it's unique and it covers a topic that's rarely talked about. In my opinion, the draw to this genre of media is that it puts viewers in the shoes that they would never put themselves into, the shoes of a serial killer. My name is Tatsch, and today I'll be explaining the reasons behind why we shouldn't be watching these TV shows. They encourage the glorification of criminals, they desensitize us to violence, and they disrespect the families of the victims involved. Like I've said before, the purpose of these murder dramas are to warn, scare, or simply inform viewers of these dangerous criminals, but oftentimes they unintentionally glamorize them. In the newly released Netflix series Monsters, Netflix looks into and investigates the lives of the Menendez brothers, who murdered their parents in their own home. Although this series did receive very positive reviews, most of the reviews were consisting of how attractive the actors were that played Lyle and Eric Menendez. According to the University of California at Irvine, the casting of well-known heartthrobs to play murderers results in consumers inappropriately redirecting their empathy and romantic desires towards the perpetrator of the crimes. This redirection of attention takes away from the immorality of the crime and instead creates empathy for the criminals. Another example of this criminal glamorization is when Netflix cast Zac Efron as Ted Bundy in Shockingly Evil, Extremely Wicked, and Vile. Between taking out some of Ted Bundy's crimes and including Efron as the main actor, the movie line became a lot lighter and viewers created empathy for Ted Bundy's more endearing qualities. The embellishment of these criminals draws in more views, but not for the right reasons. Besides glorifying these criminals, murder dramas also have an issue with desensitizing viewers to violence. There's a serious issue with mitigating the severity of a crime because it takes away from our full understanding of the weight of real-life occurrences and their repercussions. Edison research discovered that 84% of Americans consume some form of true crime media. Because of the exciting and addicting nature of these true crime shows, viewers can become hooked, and hooked viewers will continue to watch and rewatch these murder dramas that consist of really horrific and heinous crimes. This overexposure leads to this repeated act of watching so much death and crime that it desensitizes us to this violence. And it leads to an even bigger issue. Viewers lose their respect for the fragility of human life. Human life itself is so delicate, as we all know, and having viewers be shown this crime and death over and over again really loses the sensitivity to the subject. Besides affecting society's view on murder dramas, on murder and crime, it also affects the families involved with these murders. Since these murder dramas are nonfiction, the names used in these series represent real people, and the crimes committed against them are very much real. According to Binghamton University, one of the family members of Dahmer's victims has spoken out against the show. Rita Isbell's brother was tragically murdered by Dahmer at the age of 19. During Dahmer's sentencing, she gave an emotional victim statement against Dahmer, which was later recreated by the actors in the Dahmer series. The shock of this situation, Netflix never contacted Rita about using her name, likeness, and exact words in that scene, and she had to relive that moment again when she watched the show again for the first time. Imagine the shock and pain and anger and agony that she felt having to reopen the wound of her sibling's death and have all those emotions play again when they all should have been left in the past. To summarize, this is a very difficult topic to talk about because it deals with disrespect, ethics, and death itself. Although the main goal of these murder dramas are to warn viewers about the dangerous criminals and ultimately how to stay safe, the outcome is quite the opposite. Regardless of the true intentions of these murder dramas, they create a need for more juicy and more shocking stories to come. So the next time you think about watching a murder drama, just put yourself in the shoes of one of the victims' families, and that might just make you turn off the TV. Thank you.
Good job.